Hello, and welcome to the Finance Department's presentation of the IT network improvements associated with Resolution 2016-42 on the March 14, 2016 Board agenda. I am Bill White, the Finance Director for the Township. You will be meeting Bob Hale and Steve Giancristoforo later in the video. We are lucky to have both of these gentlemen to help with our IT network. Bob Hale represents our only full-time IT person, and Stevie G, as we affectionately refer to him, is a tremendous resource to Bob Hale and is able to provide him about 4 hours a week in assistance. So why are we making this presentation? We are asking the board's authority to engage Alura Business Solutions to enhance our IT network, which will allow the township to host the ERP data from Tyler Technologies. The good news is that what we're asking for does not require any additional funding for the board for the upfront installation of the hardware and the software. The cost of approximately $90,000 for the upfront installation is already budgeted between what was included in the 2016 capital budget as well as what is included in the $1 million set aside from the business tax settlement for the ERP project. As we look forward, this solution provides significant opportunities for the township to enhance our entire IT network without adding significant costs to the township's operating budget. So to get a little bit more detail about our current network and what this plan entails, let's kick it over to Bob and Steve.
Hello, I'm Bob Hale, IT Coordinator for Radnor Township. I've been with the township 7 years now, and some of my job responsibilities include managing the servers, the 100 plus computers at the Township Building and Public Works Building, the 14 computers in the police vehicles, mobile devices including tablets and mobile phones, managing the email system. I also manage the building HVAC and lighting controls and the building security, which include security cameras and the door access system. Behind me is the rack. I see these are all the computers, these are all the phones, our network switches. By upgrading the network switches to managed switches, we'll be able to handle the increased traffic. We'll also have the ability to set up VLANs to prioritize critical information between devices and prevent bottlenecks of information. It will also help monitor devices on the network to quickly detect problems and allow us to repair them quickly. The firewall router, upgrading that will increase performance by protecting against emerging threats like viruses, malware, and other malicious code that could disrupt or shut down business.
Hello folks, my name is Steve Giancristoforo. I work with Bob Hale here in the IT department. I've been with Radnor Township for the past 19 years, both full-time and part-time. My responsibilities here are basically the network and the servers to ensure that the servers for both the police department and the township work efficiently and work reliably 24/7. And also keep the network going. The upgrade that we're well, first of all, the original network here was installed back when I started in 1997, and it's been growing and growing ever since. This network infrastructure that you see right here behind me was actually installed in 2006 and 2007. And when this building opened in 2007, we started using these network switches and routers, which, believe it or not, are still running today. What we plan to do here in the very near future is to upgrade the routers and switches, as Bob mentioned earlier. And we're looking at taking these 7 servers that you see behind me and consolidate them into one blade server. Doing that will provide a more reliable system to house our data and to process data. And also we're looking at going from a workgroup environment that we're on right now to an Active Directory environment. That will allow more control over users, more control over user security, making sure that content filtering is in place, making sure that malware and spam and whatever is blocked. And we're looking at basically improving the overall operation of the servers and improving reliability and making sure that we are protected. That entire process is going to involve one rack of servers with a virtual servers, so that we can take a lot of these moving parts that we have behind me right now and consolidate them into one reliable, responsible unit.
Thank you, Bob and Steve. So how did we get to this point? Well, back in November, if you'll recall, the administration presented an update on the ERP project, and at that time received the board's approval to negotiate with Tyler Technologies. We presented two different alternatives, a self-hosting alternative or a cloud-based alternative. At that time, since we only have Bob Hale as our lone full-time IT person to run the network, we didn't think we'd be in a position to add the immense amount of data and additional servers needed to run the ERP software without needing to add additional IT staff. So we were leaning towards a cloud-based business solution, with the understanding that it carried significantly higher costs versus the self-hosted. Naturally, concerns were raised during the discussion in November that the cloud-based solution was simply going to be too expensive. As you're looking at the graph, the cloud-based solution is running about $175,000 per year versus a little less than $50,000 per year for the self-hosted. So to address these concerns and fully vet the due diligence portion of the ERP project, the CARFAC working group and the administration spent the better part of December through February determining what it would take to host the ERP Tyler data here on site. Based on peer group and professional recommendations, we reached out to 3 qualified IT companies and asked them to evaluate the current network setup, determine what upgrades would be needed to host the Tyler data, and to provide a proposal to make those improvements to include the ongoing managed services that would be necessary. To our delight, all 3 companies presented very similar solutions, which allowed us to focus on evaluating those firms based on price, the interviews we had with them, as well as client reference checks and discussions amongst IT peer groups. Looking at the proposal totals, Alura and Strategically both provided proposals that were similar in scope and price, while Omega's proposal presented a plan that's just simply too far-reaching and not cost conducive to the township's available resources. Based on the follow-up interviews and the pricing proposals, we felt comfortable presenting either Alura or Strategic Link. At this time, the resolution is recommending that we move with Alura because at the end of the day, they had the lower pricing. Also, it's important to note that all the hardware included will be purchased at state bid pricing. So here's why we're recommending the adoption of Resolution 2016-42. Again, this would authorize the administration to engage with Alura to allow the township to host the Tyler data because of the hardware and software installation in the IT upgrades. Taking a look at the quick slide, here's the good news. Again, we're not asking the board for any additional funds to get the upfront installation complete. The cost of approximately $90,000 is already budgeted between the 2016 IT capital budget and the $1 million set aside for the ERP project. Focusing on the ongoing costs, taking a look at this slide, by hosting the Tyler information on site, the township will save money annually on software maintenance costs. We currently pay SunGard for the technology that we're looking to replace around $63,000 per year. Tyler is going to cost roughly $49,000 a year. Both costs we expect to grow annually by roughly 3%. So right out of the box, we're going to save roughly $14,000 per year in moving forward with hosting the Tyler site here at the township building. That savings can go to help offset about half of the additional costs that it will cost Alura for the managed IT network monitoring, security, and disaster recovery. One other note is that the current software from SunGard is not a viable option moving forward. We have to replace it. So we either have to replace it by going with Tyler, or we have to replace it by going with SunGard's upgraded version. The graph shows that the upgraded maintenance costs for SunGuard are close to $100,000 per year. So when you compare the $100,000 that we would have to pay SunGuard to upgrade their system versus the $49,000 that we're going to pay Tyler by moving in that direction, it's even a greater savings to the township as we move forward. Next, by hosting the ERP data on-site, the township would have had to purchase additional database maintenance and disaster recovery services from Tyler. It's important to note that these services would cost around $25,000 per year, but would only apply to the Tyler portion of the data. It would have excluded all the other areas of the township IT network. We have significant amounts of data from other areas, including our police department, our departmental files, as well as the security for all the township buildings, the GIS system, and any kind of data we want to store on our system moving forward. That would all have been outside. However, if we go with Alura, taking a look at this graph, we'll buy the same database management, security, and disaster recovery services, but it will include the entire IT network. So our entire IT department will be covered instead of only the Tyler or ERP portion of it. And again, we're comparing a cost of roughly $24,000 or $25,000 against the $35,000 per year we're going to pay Alura. So to summarize, the Alura solution provides the township with the following critical benefits: an opportunity to save money annually on software maintenance, a full disaster recovery capability. This is also an item that the auditors have commented on over the years. Greater data efficiency with up-to-date network switches and routers. Greater data security with up-to-date monitoring, detection, and intervention software with 24/7, 365 monitoring services. And a network that is more in line with the industry direction, which provides the township with greater IT flexibility and succession planning. By approving the resolution on March 14th, that will ensure that the network will be set up in time for the ERP installation, which is expected to begin in early summer, which the board will have a separate resolution coming to them either in late April or early May on that. And we'll be able to do all of this without adding additional IT staff. So I'd like to thank the board again for your consideration. And as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.